Whoa. Full start making some crazy noises. We'll start making some crazy noises there. All right, buddy, welcome back. Yeah, I'm watching the boost gauge. We got a boost gauge installed. Pretty easy install. I just made a mount that comes up, holds it on. And yeah, it was a white gauge that I spray painted black because it looked kind of funny with the white all hanging out. It came with this mount. And you can see it's cold in here, coffee steaming. Need to drink my hot coffee. That was the mount. That didn't work because I didn't have a dash to mount it into. So just made a bracket, bolted it on, plumbed it in, good to go. Plumbed it in up here. Yeah, that's all good because really what I want to see is my fuel tank pressure. Really what I'm trying to monitor right now is if I'm getting pressure to my fuel tank to be able to run pressure down to my carburetor, which it's working great, just revving it up. Yeah, I got it all pulled back apart. Just revving it up. I saw it. I saw the gauge come up. So, yeah, we're making boost. There's no doubt we have boost. And I know, just from tuning it, we have boost. So, yeah, turbo is working good. And yeah, I went on my little New Year's ride. It was freezing cold. Went on a little New Year's ride. It was freezing cold. I wanted to go all the way around the block, but I cut it in half and came back down the alley. Because the bike was running okay on low boost. When you get up on the high boost, it was doing some weird stuff. And it wasn't, oh, excuse me. I got my fans on. Yeah, it's only 33 in here today. I really want to get this figured out. And I think I really figured out what the real problem was. Yeah, it was smoking real bad. And now it's just... See, I'm blowing smoke. It's because that wasn't smoke coming out. It's just... Yeah, it's cold in here. And the end of the video the other day when I was blowing it outside... That's because I had the door open and it was cold. Most of that was, you know, vapor steam or whatever you want to call it. Cold. But the bottom end wasn't built right. I had the piston rings lined up. I even went to talk to Jerry, like, man, have you ever done that? Like, am I just crazy here? And he's like, yeah, I've done it. I was like, okay. It's only one piston. But I think what I did, if you guys look back, when I put the rod in, I actually put it in wrong because I had the dipper backwards. So I spun the rod with the piston in the cylinder. And I think one of the rings spun and one of them stuck. So they all pretty much lined up. The top one was here, the second one was here, and the bottom oil scraper was here, lined up with the second one. Or about like that. It was... Yeah, so it was smoking real bad. And... It wasn't the turbo, it was the engine. Let me just show you guys. I was wondering, like, what is the real problem here? And yeah, I just built it wrong. See the oil coming out of my spark plug hole? There was extra oil coming out of my exhaust, out of my spark plug hole. Now you can see if you guys can see that. Actually, let me go ahead and just turn the rest of the light on. Shop lights. There we go. See if you guys can see in here now. The inside of the turbo in here was just covered in oil. This line was dripping here. There was so much oil in there, it was just crazy. And I wanted to run it with the downpipe off just to be able to see, because before, yeah, you could still see there's some there, but before it was dripping. If you'd barely run it, it would drip out. And yeah, so Wipe that off down here. Because that's just exhaust soot, really, more than... There's still a little bit of oil, but that's mostly just exhaust soot, so that's okay. And, yeah, I got towels in my downpipe because it was full of oil, too. So, yeah. Back to my warm coffee. Okay. So, really, I'm measuring boost up here. I'm not measuring it down here on my intake where I get vacuum, because I'm not really worried about vacuum right now, because I'm pretty sure the engine makes good vacuum. I want to see how much boost is going to my gas tank, so I plumbed it in right here so I can see straight to my boost gauge what's going on. And I think also that starter is so cold right now. Sorry for filming in a freezing shop, but my heat's on and it's not really helping because it's just so cold right now. And steadily getting colder outside. I think it's 33 in here, but it's 28 outside, I think. It's freezing. So, yeah. And I think the starter, you know, it's working fine, but I think it's cold. It's so cold that when the engine revs up, it wants to spit the line out, and it's kind of catching. That's what that grinding noise was my pull start. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. And if you guys can see up here, too, let me just go ahead and try and get around to the other side. Shop's all packed in because, yeah, it's freezing cold outside. Let me just see if I can get stuff moved around here so you guys can get a little better see of what we're doing here. There we go. It's easy to spin around when it's on the lift. But I got to kind of sneak out. Okay. So yeah, I went ahead and redid my charge line a little bit too, because on my test ride I realized I had the 45 here that was coming up, and it was just too close. Now I have way more room for my leg. My leg is right here, so that's good. I may get a 180 boot to go on here, an actual, you know, like a rubber boot, or a silicone boot, but this setup actually works pretty good. And actually, you can see there, it was actually blowing my pipe apart. So, yeah. And of course, I got a new piece and unglued it, and I had my glue, and yeah, I'm not sure what I did my epoxy, but this is all just, basically it's tack welded. It's one drop of epoxy on each setting just to hold it together for right now. And then I can still pop it apart. If you really squeeze on it tight, you can pop them apart. So that's all good. But you can see now I got way more room, and actually it's flowing great. So that's good to go. And I think it's just my issue down here with my pull start is the fact that it's just freezing cold. I'm hoping, because nothing else is really a problem there. You know, just a ball bearing pull start. So, but I think it's not, when I rev the engine up, it revs up so fast now. The pull start wants to kind of unspool a little bit, and then the ball bearing kind of hangs up. It's making some crazy noises. But yeah, we're good. And now you can see the boost gauge, how it's plumbed in up here. Good to go. Let's fire it up and see if you guys can see some boost here. And yeah, I do still have all the drive system pulled apart. So right now, if we're making boost, we're just spinning it up. There's no load on the entire system. So as soon as we get some load on it, it's going to make a lot more boost. So if we see boost right now, we're good. And we're gonna, because I just saw some a minute ago. Let me get this set up here 1 sec. Yep, we got boost. Awesome. Okay, I think we are good to go to get everybody all lined back up down here. Get my master link sitting right here. Get my master link put back on. Get my chain all lined back up. Be all good to go. Got my pulley sitting right here. I'm pulling all my goodies. So I'll get my spacer slid back on there. Get my pulley back on. And yeah, that's my gasket for my downpipe. You can still see some of the oil on it there. Yeah, I think we're gonna do some cleaning there. I'm gonna get some brake clean and wash that thing out, because you can still see it's kind of smoky in here, but it's just from the residual in that header pipe. that header pipe was full of oil. It was bad. So, yeah, I think we're good now. Once again, just need to double check everything, going back together, get this belt drive line back up. We got a working boost gauge now, so we can really see what's going on. And if it ever warms up outside, we're going to go for a test drive, make some boost, and it's going to be good. Because the one pull I made down the front of the street here, I squeaked on it, and it started to make boost. It was pulling hard. I was like, it doubled the horsepower easy, and and I let off it just because I didn't want to rev it up too much. You know, because these flywheels are good till about 6,000 RPM. They don't like 7,000. They're almost too heavy for 7,000, and they will crack and possibly let go of your crankshaft. You almost need a lighter flywheel, which ARC makes. It's a gangster flywheel, and I kind of want to get one because you can also adjust the timing on it. I need to retard it and not have to use a cut flywheel keyway. The keyway, I need to be a nice strong keyway. The retarded ones they're cut and they're not as strong, and they will let go. And so yeah, I think if I get the ARC flywheel, move the magnet back so it's timed correctly, or timed 2 degrees retarded, so I lose that little bit of timing all the time. It's gonna be good. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Way more to come. When in doubt, figure it out. The truth will set you free. Kickstands up. Let's ride. Okay, guys. One last thing I wanted to show you. I said I came inside, too, because, yeah, it was freezing outside. Warm down here in my engine build shop. Got my goodies all laid out. And, yeah, got my other Briggs over here because, yeah, got my big carb on this one, too. So, yeah, we might do some goodies in here because it's leaking. Yeah. But I was telling you guys it was running, once it came on to boost, it was pulling hard, but then it kind of quit pulling, and I could tell it was running just a bit lean once it was up on boost. But I don't want to add more main jet because it's already too rich on the low end. So I need a smaller main jet, but I wanted more fuel on the top. What you have to change is the needle. The fuel needle. Let me show you. I'll show you the details on it right now. So what I do, there's a clip in here, and what I mean, the needle is right here. Let me just go ahead and so the needle is in there. See how it closes? So this one is a bit different, but you can see the needle, how, if you guys can see down in there, how the needle, even when it's up all the way, let me see if I can hold it up there. So even when it's up all the way, it's still blocking the hole down there. So it's tough to get fuel out of the orifice tube. The orifice tube here, the fuel still has to come out the top of it and has to have enough room on the main jet to be able to come out, or on the needle. The needle tapers, and if the needle is too low in the orifice, the fuel can't come out. If you guys can see down in there, there's a hole. Right there it is. The fuel can't come out of the tube if the needle isn't up high enough. And that's what I had to change on my other setup. Leave this one over here because that needle goes to this one. This one is a bit different. But it's the exact same build. It's just a different carburetor. So you have to pop out, and you have tweezers. Pop out the clip. There's a clip in there that presses down on the needle. Now the needle can come out. And what you can do is put shims on this needle to lift it. See, if you pop it out and put a shim right there, the needle gets lifted up in the bore, so you have more room for your fuel to come out. If there's not enough room for the fuel to come out on the boost, it goes lean. So you can put a little one in there. That one is tiny. That's usually what you would use, but this is what I used in my other carburetor. because I needed a bigger one. This is a bigger shim, a lot bigger shim. Now it drops down in there. Get our clip here. Rotate this around. There we go. And then just push the clip down all the way so that it seats down in there. And now the needle won't press up because the clip is holding it down, but the needle is raised from its original location. And with this shim in here, it's raised up almost a 1/16 of an inch, or a little bit over a 1/16 of an inch. So quite a bit more fuel on the top end. When the boost is pushing the fuel out of the orifice tube, we'll get way more fuel because the needle is higher now. Yeah, you got to raise the needle up. Take it out, put a small shim in there, raise the needle up. You get more fuel on the top end, so you can still run a smaller main jet. Because I think right now I'm at a 160, and I think it's too big. You go down to like a 150 or 140, but with the lifted needle, so that everything comes in tune, and we're good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Way more to come. Get them carbs right, get that boost flowing. Yeah, let's roll. And if you wondered, yeah, that one's a 24. One that's on her now is a 20. Boost works. That's right. Yeah.